Welcome to Heal the New Sex, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and coach. Today, I want to talk about getting rid of shame. If you're a part of the Healed Squad, meaning that you are subscribed to this channel, I want to ask a favor of you to share this to every woman that you know. When it comes to videos like this, the algorithm kind of suppresses these videos because if it has anything to do with healing or being set free of anything that's harmful, especially as it relates to your mindset and how you view and see yourself. If it's a video about you being empowered, okay, YouTube doesn't push those videos. So do me a favor and please push this video to every woman that you know. Today, I want to talk about getting rid of shame. I don't know why. I was cooking breakfast today and this just dropped in my spirit. So apparently there is a woman that needs to see this video because you are dealing with shame. Let me define shame first, and then I'm going to go from there. I always like to make sure that we're on the same wavelength, okay? Shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. When I do therapy, now let me be clear, I have worked with women from all types of walks of life. Women who were strippers and sex workers to women who have never been kissed by a man. I've worked with all types of women. And it doesn't matter what life situation they are in. Almost every woman that I've worked with has dealt with shame. And I always talk to them about the level of responsibility. And 9 times out of 10, the shame that they feel doesn't belong to them. The shame that they feel comes from an institution. It comes from some type of societal norm. It comes from political pressure, right? If you are a woman, you have to know that shame is built in to your society. Shame is a mechanism used to control and manipulate you. You have to understand that shame is a building block in your foundation. And if you're on a healing journey, you are going to have to address the shame. Something I do in almost every video that I have the opportunity to is I always say I'm a single mom and I'm 36. And the reason why I share those two things is because in United States, because I know I got some international sisters, hey girl, in the United States, there's a lot of shame about being unmarried over 25 and being a baby mama. B-A-B-Y, yes. And so every video I say it is because I'm not going to be shamed about somebody else's perception of me when they haven't walked a mile in my shoes. I'm not going to allow a life situation, because I can get married tomorrow, y'all. Y'all see what I'm working with. Face card never decline. Yours doesn't either. I'm not going to let a situation that I am right now to define me. And what society wants you to do is to allow your past to define you so that you can stay stuck. Many women say, Smithy, I feel so stuck. I feel so stuck. You're stuck because you've allowed shame. You've allowed what people may think of you to stop you from moving to the place and the spaces that you need to move into. If you don't hear anything else from this video, hear and know this. Shame is a contraceptive to your freedom and to your forward movement. What is contraceptive? It's birth control. You can't birth the business. You can't go back to school. You can't move forward if you dealing with shame. And some of us are dealing with shame because of things that happened to us, not even because of what we did. Whether it's trauma, it's grape, it's CSA, whatever it is, you may feel stuck because you're like, I can't move forward because this happened to me. What will people think about me if they knew this about me? How would people treat me? Let's be for real. It may not even be that. You may have gone through a divorce or going through another divorce and you feel shame because people have turned their back on you. You have to let shame go. You have to get rid of it. Shame is a liar. Shame doesn't tell you the truth about who you are. Shame is also a twisted form of vanity. Let me define vanity for you. I know you've never heard this, but let me define vanity for you. Vanity has to do with the quality of being worthless or futile. And that's what shame tells you. It tells you that you're worthless. It tells you that you don't deserve everything that you deserve. Listen, shame can come to you and it has nothing to do about who you are. Shame could be because of what somebody else did in your family. I remember a family member did something a few years ago. I felt so much shame and humiliation. The first thing I said was, God, what are people going to think about me because of what that person did? Some of you, I know I got some international sisters. It may be because the tribe you from. It may be because of the family you from. I know a pastor right now going through something because of allegedly what her daughter did. And every Sunday she got to get in the pulpit. Meanwhile, there's people online tearing her daughter down. There's people who've torn you down. There's people who told you not going to be nothing. You're not going to make it. You're not going to go anywhere. You may have had an OF yesterday. You like, I'm trying to do something new today, but you got shame. Get rid of it. Shame doesn't define who you are, and it doesn't define how far you'll go if you don't allow it to do that. You may be shamed because, listen, you're like, girl, Cynthia, I'm at the precipice of making a decision. I don't want to make this decision because I don't want to be in that cycle again. I don't want to have to do it again. But I know if I stay here, Cynthia, I'll die. If I stay in this situation right here, I'll die. But I don't want to have to go through it again. There's a beautiful young lady that I have to do a video for. Because she asked me, Cynthia, can you tell me when I'm supposed to share my past with a man? She talked about there's some medical things that I went through and I got scars on my body. You may have scars on your body and you feel shame. So you're wearing certain clothes to hide and to mask because you don't want people to think anything about you, to value you less because of what you went through. You better wear those scars and you better be proud of it. That doesn't define you. I don't care what decision. I'm not going to call it a mistake. What decision you've made. You may have made the decision to terminate a pregnancy. And here you are dealing with it and carrying it. And society is laughing at you. Because let's be for real. You're danged if you do and you're danged if you don't. Society will look at you and say, that man don't want that baby, get rid of it. And then when you keep the baby, why you kept that man baby and he ain't want? So you dealing with shame because now you a baby mama. You dealing with shame because you went through a divorce. You dealing with shame because you flunked out of school. You dealing with shame because you done got divorced. You dealing with shame because you bought the house and now you lost the house. You bought the car, now you lost it. So now you're dealing with shame. Meanwhile, the people who you are worried about and you are accepting what they have to say about you, they exposing your skeletons in your closet. Meanwhile, they got a whole graveyard in theirs. Get rid of that shame. One of my favorite stories in the Bible. This is my favorite story, y'all. This is my favorite story. This is my favorite story. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is the woman at the well. Because growing up, when they taught about the woman at the well, they always taught about it from a place of disgust. Oh, there's this woman and Jesus said, where's your husband? And she's like, I don't have, and he says, oh, well, you got 5. And the one you with right now, that's not your husband. I want to tell you something. When I had a coaching program, and if you need coaching to get rid of shame, click the link down below in the description and let's work together, because this is the year that you don't let shame block you, because shame is really the root to imposter syndrome, depression, anxiety. It really has to do with shame. And once you get rid of shame, then guess what? You're going to be free. You're going to experience a level of freedom that you never had to be able to do the things that you were called and created to do. But let me get back to the story. So now we may have some theologians here. So if you're a theologian, please forgive me. This is my interpretation. Okay. Correct me in the comments. Listen. So she go to the well. Boom. She done been married 5 times. Okay. Jesus said, she talking to Jesus and she like, I perceive you to be a prophet. Okay. Jesus like, listen, if you drink from this well, you'll never thirst again. Now, hold on, pause. What does that mean? Why would Jesus say, if you drink from this well, you'll never thirst again? What? Listen, the reason why I believe Jesus said that is because that woman had a wound in her soul. And that's why she had those multiple husbands. I know there's a woman out there, you know how it is to be with a man and not want to be with him. But when you lay down with him, that's when you feel alive. That's when you feel seen. That's when you feel empowered. And see, this woman, nobody ever said, wait a minute, why would a woman get married 5 times? What was going on with her that she was going from man to man to man? Could it be that she needed affirmation and validation, and there was something that she was seeking? And there's another scripture that says, right? It says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church, that he gave his life for it. Jesus was basically saying, baby doll, I don't care about none of those husbands, because I'm going to die on the cross for your sins, and I'm going to fulfill you in a way that you've never been fulfilled. Now, the Bible says she goes on and she goes and she tells the other men, she goes and evangelizes and says, come see about a man who told me about my life. But in that moment, she could have allowed shame to stop her. oh, how these people gonna receive from me, and they know about my past. How they go hear, they know about my past. She didn't allow shame to get in the way. Then people knew she had 5 husbands. They knew she had 5 husbands. But Jesus presented something differently, because guess what? Jesus don't care about your sin. He's already addressed that. Jesus don't care about your past. He's already addressed that. He's already provided a way of escape for you. But if you allow shame to stop you, you'll be unlike the woman at the well, because her life changed. Whatever was in her that she was longing for. Because one thing about shame and guilt, it will cause you to engage in certain behaviors, because you just like, I just want somebody to wrap their arms around me. I just want somebody to love me. I just want somebody to see me. I just want somebody to understand me. So then you begin to engage in behavior, whether it's sex, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's overeating and comfort eating, whether it's working out. Girl, you this big, why you still working out? I'm slick hating on you. Why you still doing that? And it's because there's a wound on the inside of you, because of something that happened to you, or because of where you come from, or maybe there's a wound because you know there's a decision you have to make. Don't let shame rob you. You know what boggles my mind every time I see it on TikTok? Every time I see, now I hope y'all listen, okay? The ASPCA don't come for me when I say this. It's just how I think. Every time I see a video on TikTok and you see the kittens and they hissing at the person, and the person gets the cat and loves on them, and then later you see the cat and the cat's playing and stuff. It always boggles my mind why people can offer love to an animal that they see hurt, but they don't offer love to a person that they see that's hurting. I'm going to say that one more time. It boggles my mind that you can see an animal hurting, but you can see a person distressed. You can see a person homeless. You can see a person where life is mollywopping them in the head. And you may be that very woman. You like, Cynthia, I'm busted. I'm broke down. I'm depressed. I don't know what to do. And I got people in my life and they don't even recognize it. I'm going through this divorce, and the person who I thought she was a friend of mine, and she done slept with my man. So now I even got to deal with, I'm going through the divorce and my best friend messing with my man. I'm at work, and I work in a small town, and everybody know that my husband cheated with somebody else. I'm in a small town, and everybody know, you ain't even got to be in a small town. Sure, you could be in a big town, and everybody know that my son is in prison because of what he did, and I got shame. It saddens me that we will give an animal more love and attention and understanding than we will give ourselves and that we will give to others. Come on. That bothers me. There's people I see every day. Every day I see them and I sit with them and they're crying and they're desperate and they want change and deal with shame, because if somebody knew this about me, how would they treat me? I'm going to be honest with you. Can I be honest? I started YouTube. My first video was in January last year. Before I did my healing journey, I was not who you see before you today. I was not her. I grew up in a home with domestic violence, and I was a child that wasn't seen. I was a child that you had to go outside. I had to go outside and I had to act like everything was okay at home. And on the inside, I was like, why can't people see that I'm hurting? Why can't people see that I'm struggling? And people just label you, oh, she angry. She just mad. She's just nasty. Not realizing the tumultuous home I was coming from, and not realizing that I was surviving. I didn't want to be angry. I didn't want to be hurt. I didn't want that. I didn't want the things that were going on, but I had to become callous. That's why I don't believe in no such thing as a masculine woman. That's a woman that's hurt. And so when I decided to do YouTube, I got another story to tell you. Not even before when I decided to do YouTube, but when I decided that I was going to launch and do coaching and do the whole healed is the new sexy, there was so much shame that I felt, because I'm like, how are people going to receive from me, that, especially that knew me from the past, who knew the broken me, who knew the unhealed me? How are they going to receive me? How are they going to see me? Because they knew, listen, y'all may say, Samantha, oh my, y'all tickle me sometimes. I love your videos, and I love y'all too. Okay, let me say that, and I love y'all too, right? But that's what I thought in my mind. But I had to say, you know, I'm not going to let who I used to be. I'm not going to let her sabotage who I am today and stop me from speaking to women who need to hear what I have to say. I remember when the Lord, and I really believe the Lord gave me Healed the New Sexy. I believe he gave it to me, okay? And I remember going to church, talking to my pastor, and I was like, Pastor, you know, I want to do this coaching program, and I want to name it Healed the New Sexy. And he said, okay. And I said, well, I'm concerned about what the church will think. He said, are they paying you? I said, I don't think so. He said, well, go forth. Baby, that freed me. But you know what else happened? When I started taking my pictures and showing body, wow. You know how them women stopped interacting with me? You know? You know, I wear red. I intentionally put red lipstick on because growing up I was taught, how was that? 304s wore red. So I wear red. I do it intentionally because I'm addressing my shame. I'm addressing the internalized beliefs that were handed to me from somebody else. And so you have to address the internalized beliefs given to you by the people around you, by institutions, by political parties, by society. You have to address it and get rid of shame. I love you so much. I love you so much. And I want to be there to support you on your healing journey. I appreciate you for spending this time with me, for watching this video. If you need coaching, click the link down in the description. I want to be able to support you. If there's also a topic that you want me to discuss, put it down below and I will add it to the other videos that I have to address. But if you hear nothing else, get rid of shame. Don't allow it to block you from everything that God has for you. You have an abundant life ahead of you. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how many baby daddies you got. I don't care the things that you feel like you failed. I don't care about none of that. You have a bright future. This is Healed the New Sexy. My name is Samantha. Till we meet again.